Wow. I don't know if the reflection of that mirror is like gonna fuck up the illusion. Don't worry. I got a scarf. I can cover it. Oh, that was scary as shit. Oh, that's scary. Wow. I don't know if you can see, like, I'm wearing PJs. There are monkeys in it. Ooh, I gotta get the tea ready though. But I don't know if this is gonna be a good frame, so I'm gonna have to get an assistant. Hold on.
Pero ahí espacio, da espacio vacío.
Oh, okay. Thanks. Bye. Ready to spill the tea? So hot. Actually, this is not even tea. This is coffee, but let's pretend it's tea. Thank you. And before I continue on with this story time, I'm gonna need you to subscribe down there if you're not already. And if you already are, hit the notification bell below because YouTube's hiding my videos and you guys are not seeing it in your subscription box or anywhere on YouTube. And you probably thought I died, but I didn't. I still upload quite frequently, honestly. But if you're seeing this video now, it's because I'm uploading more often than usual. That way YouTube can pop me up somewhere. So that song is everything. Anyway, so now we got that out of the way. Let's talk about the time I won American Idol and I won a trip to New York. Alright, so background story. I always wanted to be famous, right? Right. Just kidding. That's not the real story. I wanted to go to American Idol because I wanted to conquer my fears. The main point of it was, I'm like, even if I make it on TV or I don't, what matters is that I tried. Because, like, I'm a very shy person. Like, well, according to this video, I don't look shy. But when you're in front of a camera by yourself at home, you tend to be yourself more than when you're in public. When I'm in public, I'm actually pretty boring. You know, there's I'm not mentioning any names, but there's, you know, somebody out there that likes me better in videos than they like me in real life. What was I saying? Oh yeah, American Idol. So anyways, so I wanted to go because I wanted to prove myself. I wanted to prove that I can actually sing in front of people because you know how the saying goes. I've always been the kind of girl hid my face. You know what I mean? That's me, like literally me. So, and I was like, I'm gonna prove that I'm gonna go up there, I'm gonna sing my ass off, and whether they say yes or no, I'm gonna be proud of myself because, you know, what had happened was I don't like singing not even in front of my family, and then they're my family, I know them. You know what I mean? So I'm like, let's sing in front of strangers. Let's see what happens. So, this was the season before Nicki Minaj, I believe. Either before or after. The one that J-Lo was on. The season before the farewell season, whatever. So that season where J-Lo was on it. And then, so anyway, so I was like, I'm hyped, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? So, what happened? So you have to sign a form, you know, fucking paper, release form, that they can fucking screw around with your taping so it can make you look bad. But I'm like, I don't care, I look bad all the time on YouTube anyway, so what the fuck is the difference? They actually ask if you have a YouTube video, YouTube channel in that release form, and I say yes and whatever. So anyways, just in case they want to show like a clip of you being a crazy psychopath or whatever, so they can do that, right? So I signed the paper, and then at the time I was working at Forever 21, my very first, well, technically second job, but first actual job that I stood in, because my first job was Walmart, but it was a temp, so temporary, just in case you don't know what temp is. I don't know why you wouldn't know what that is, but anyways, so I was in Forever 21, and they hired me as a greeter, and I was so shy. I didn't know how to speak to people. Like, I was always like in my room depressed and shit, but you know, since I had to work, I had to speak to people, right? So I'm just like, hi, how are you? Oh, have a good one. You know, like, very shy and shit. But like, that job kind of like broke me out of my shell, because then I was like, hey girl, what's up? You look good in that dress, okay? Okay. So you know what I mean? Like, I turned into that person that I'm like outgoing now, whatever, in front of people. So I'm like, I can do this. I can do this. So that was the worst. Don't do that again. Anyway, so yeah, I decided to sign the papers. I spent some money to because I live in Connecticut, so I had to travel to New York. And it was in Long Island, I think, so I had to like pay some like $10 or something, or $15 for a toll or something like that. I was like, oh girl, you got me fucked up, America. I better fucking become famous after this because $15, I can buy myself a shirt. Because you know I'm obsessed with shopping. Anyway, so I sleep over my aunt's house because she lives in New York. So I end up going in the morning off to the audition. There were not as much. There were not as many people as I thought there would be, and you know, like me, nobody's still with me. My mom and my cousin, which my cousin was the one who was driving, they all went back. They didn't want to wait with me. They're like, you can embarrass yourself. You can do what you gotta do, but I ain't gonna stay with you. So I was alone. But then I met this girl, right, and we were chilling, we were talking and whatever. We were telling each other's life stories and shit. Not like, you know what I mean? Like, not like we're gonna see each other again, so it just doesn't, you know. So, we were talking about our life stories, and then like a couple of other people like showed up and we started talking. And you know, we formed like a whole group. We were like 10 people deep. You know what I mean? Well, the main group was me, the girl, and a guy and a girl. The guy actually auditioned for X Factor. He made it to TV, but then they kicked him off. And then he came to American Idol. And I don't know about the other girl, but you know, the main girl that I made friends with, you know, she was telling me this is the first time she auditioned for the name. I'm like, me too, girl, me too. My first time. Don't play with me. So, you know, we were showing off each other's voices and whatever. Not to toot my own horn, but I think that I was maybe like third to the best of singers that from the group that we had and whatever. But these random, you know how I told you, like, you know, the main people were like 4 of us, but yeah, 4 of us. And then like when I said 10 people deep, it's because like some random girls came and we were chilling and talking to them too, whatever. And so while we were waiting to be called in the building, you know, they were trying to form like a huge group of people. They started singing Ariana Grande. I don't remember what song it was because this was so long ago. But it was from her first album, of course. And then I never done this in my life, but I just started harmonizing with the bitch. I started singing with her and whatever, and we made like a little duet and shit like that, right? And then after we were done, like they looked at me because I didn't sing up to this point. Like everybody was singing except for me. But when I joined, because I really loved that song, the Ariana Grande song, and I wanted to sing, bitch. They're like, oh, wow, you're really good. You know what I mean? Like they had no doubts I was gonna make it. I don't know what that was. So what happened? So before we actually went inside the building, the camera crew showed up. They were like, oh, thank you so much for coming, blah blah blah. And then they like had everybody like go back to the end of the line, like far from the building, because the cameras were like at the street pointing at us. And then they had us do like maybe like 10 different shoots. One was like, we love you, J-Lo, because, you know, it was New York, so, you know, she from the Bronx or whatever. So, you know, and then they put the song, I think it was I Love You, Papi. I think it was, and it's like, I love you, Papi. I love you, love you, love you. You know what I mean? Like, everybody was singing. They had us singing whatever in the crowd. Because, you know, that's the first taping that they do for American Idol, when the auditions, you know, when they show auditions. Oh, we went to New York, and this is the people that we found. It didn't go like that. They just taped the crowd of people, you know, woo, we're in American Idol, woo, woo, whatever, whatever. So I came out in that taping just in the crowd. I was like, I'll show you a picture. So I was like in the crowd and whatever. I was just so worried about being cute. I didn't want to be like, woo, you know what I mean? Like, I was like, woo. So I was like, you know what? Still my little shy to myself. So then what happened? So after we did all the taping, that's when they're like, okay, so we can all go back in the line and we can go inside, get your numbers. And then we had to sit in this like huge auditorium. And this is where the group separated. Like all of us, we separated. Depending on where we like sign in or whatever, like they give you like seats, like a row. Thankfully, with the main girl that I made friends with, we sat kind of like next to each other. I think she was like in the row above or in front of me or something. I don't know. So anyway, so we kind of still talked and whatever. Then they had by rows go to the front, like this huge stadium, like an auditorium, and then they had like a whole bunch of like little tents or whatever you want to call it, and then they had people sing like in front of radio producers and stuff like that. So what happened? So bitch, if you don't stop making noise up there, I'm gonna go up there and beat your ass. Anyway, so yeah, so when it was my turn, I was almost there, and they put us in a row of like four, not a row, yeah, like a row. Anyways, they had us like four people per tent, and it was this little white girl, another white girl, me, and then a black girl next to me. And so the first little white girl went, she started singing, she choked, she was like, nope, not doing this, whatever. Second girl sung, she sung a little bit, she sung okay, and then she stopped, and then they're like, okay, cool, thank you, and then they put me up front. Whew, girl, I was so nervous, but I was like, if I really want to do this, get rid of all of that. So then I sung Titanium by Sia, and my audition went a little something like this. I'm bulletproof, nothing to lose. Fire away, ricochet, you take your aim. Fire away, you shoot me down, but I won't fall. I am titanium, shoot me down, but I won't fall. I am titanium. So my audition went a little bit something like that, but a little tiny bit worse because since I was nervous and I tried to do a run, my voice kind of like it sounded shaky, and like while I was singing and this is the worst thing, best advice I can give you. If you're gonna audition for something, don't pay attention to the fucking judges, because that's what's gonna fuck you up. Because I was singing perfect and I was like very mad confident, because all four of them, well no, there were three of them. There were three of them, and then like I was looking specifically at one, because one of the other ones was like a Simon. He was like this. And then the one that I liked, he was like bald headed, and then he was like this the whole time when I was singing. He was like this. He was like jamming and whatever. And then when I messed up that run, because I was nervous, that's when he, like, I saw him go like this. Like, when he was going like that, and I messed up, he went like, just like that. Once he did that, I was like, it's over, let me stop singing. Well, I didn't actually stop. I stopped when I wanted to stop. Like, at the end of Titanium, when I said Titanium, whatever, that's when I stopped. But, like, I knew it was over for me. Like, okay, thank you, cool. And then the other girl, the black girl, stepped up, and then she started singing. Bitch. She had the voice. She had like a gospel ass voice. Like, you know how like they sing in church and they go like, yeah. You know, like when they sing like that, like all extra and shit. She sung like that. I was like, oh girl. And then they had her sing a second time. They're like, I actually want to hear you sing something different. And then, you know, that's how they chose her. But anyways, so after that, they talked to me and the two other girls, the two white girls. And then like, okay, so you guys, he gave us like, he talked to us like as a group, and then he like individually pointed us out. He was like, you guys did well, but unfortunately you guys are not gonna go on to the next round. I remember what he said to me. He said, definitely keep working hard, you definitely got a voice in you, but I can tell your nerves got the best of you. So I'm like, okay, cool. Like, I was not sad. You know how like a lot of people be like, going with the hopes up, with the fucking, like, oh my god, I'm gonna be famous, I'm gonna go over there, and I'm gonna be doing this and that. Like, you can't go with expectations like that. You gotta go with a clear mind, like, whether you go through or you don't go through, it's fine. Be happy that you made it as far as actually auditioning. Like, it takes that first step for you to, take. And I took the first step, the initiative, and I went, I auditioned, and I'm excited that I did it, because I don't know, like, I feel like I'm proud of myself for stepping out of my comfort zone and doing what I wanted to do. So yeah, I wasn't saying anything, but they allowed the black girl that she sung really well, like they allowed her to go through. But this is the thing about American Idol that a lot of people may or may not know, because people do tell their stories on YouTube and I watch a lot of them. But I've never heard somebody say this story before. You have to go through a process of like 2 or 3 different auditions before you actually audition in front of the J-Lo and the actual TV personalities and whatever. Like, for me to actually go on TV, like, I had to like pass that first round, and then go to the next round, and after that next round, I think that's when you go to TV. So you have to go to like 3 different processes of auditions and shit. So yeah, it's not like what it seems on TV. And another thing, in that first audition, they only allow one person to go through. So if the whole group sings okay, but there's that one person that sings horrible, like how you see on TV, they're gonna gas that person. Oh my god, you sing so good, you're gonna go through, and then everybody else go home. And then in my case, in my thing, like since they were like people who were like singing okay, and like me, I sing well enough, but I messed up, and then the girl that sung amazing, they're gonna let the amazing person go through, and then the rest of the people no. So that's just how it goes. It's all about publicity. It's all about the ratings for the show. It's either you sing horrible or you sing amazing. You know what I mean? Like you cannot have in between. Like for them, they have to see like a value for ratings within yourself as a persona. I look cute as fuck though. I could have been a good show. Shit, if they wanted ratings, they could have just like interviewed me or something, because I would have been like, ready? You know what I mean? Like I would have, just by doing that, like I would have been a hit. So then I called my cousin and my mom. I'm like, oh hey, can you pick me up and whatever? And then they picked me up at my home. I was not sad. I was not depressed. I was more excited than I should have been, but like I said, I just went with the mentality of I'm just going because I want to see that I can prove to myself that I can step out of my comfort zone and do something that I never thought I would have done. So that's just how it went for me. That's my experience with it. Will I audition again? Probably not, only because of the whole process that you have to go through, like so many auditions. Like I wish it was just like TV, like you just go sing in front of the person, say yes or no, and that's it, and you go home. You know what I mean? Like that whole like behind the scenes shit, I'm not for it. I'm not here for that. But if you're a person that definitely wants to conquer your fears or try something different, for sure, go for it. It's not a terrible experience at all, but just go with the thought of you may not go through. And all those different auditions you have to go through before you even make it to the actual television show or audition part or whatever. So yeah, that's my story about how I went to American Idol and didn't make it through because I'm too cute for them. Anyways, I was too good for them. They don't need me. But here's the funny thing. I was not intending on going to American Idol that year. I was supposed to go to X Factor, but X Factor at that time had canceled in the US. Like the last season was the season before I decided that I wanted to go. So the only show that was coming around was American Idol. I was like, okay, fine, I'll just do American Idol. Like, cause I know like American Idol was my last choice to even audition for anyways, because I know how irrelevant that show is anyways. So yeah, that's what happened. And then I went actually to Orchard Beach, to beach it up. Yeah, that's what happened with me that day. Well, that year. Don't remember what year it was though. But I do have a picture. I still do have a picture of like me in the crowd. Hopefully I didn't delete it. It probably still is on Facebook. So if I do have it on Facebook, I showed the picture throughout the video and it's probably in the thumbnail. Who knows? But yeah.